Hello everyone and welcome to this new episode from the Avalonia UI series. This video is going to be a little bit different from the previous ones. Without mincing words, this time I want to try to make it more entertaining and enjoyable maybe, but yet still informative. The technical content will be summarized by highlighting only the key concepts and then leaving plenty of resources to read in the video description, plus a demonstration with working code inside the GitHub repo. But don't worry, in case you need more detailed information, just leave a comment and I'll make sure to reply. And if we want to deep dive into specific topics, we can always try some live coding sessions in the future. Who knows? Ready? Let's give it a try. The first thing I thought to start off the video was, how am I going to explain DI to people watching? Do I even remember the actual definition? Of course not. A more formal definition can be found on Wikipedia. I'll leave you a link in the description, but if you ask me, all I can say is DI is a technique to offload the responsibility of creating dependencies instances to someone else. For instance, in C#, you don't use the new keyword directly inside your class, but you let someone or something else create it for you and pass it to you. Usually through constructors, but it's not the only way. That's it. This comes with a lot of benefits, including limiting the actual responsibilities of your class, the first solid principle, decoupling type instances, improved testability, implementing the dependency inversion principle, another solid principle. Make sure to not confuse dependency injection, the technique, with inversion of control, the actual pattern. At this point, if you're used to working with ASP.NET like me, the first thing you look for when talking about DI is the startup class and its service collection. But when you create a fresh Avalonia project, you look around and nothing. There's no such thing as startup class or web application builder, or wherever you're used to working with. But fear not, my friends, our savior is here. Jokes aside, the first result was about using a third-party DI container like Lamar or Reactive Splat. The drill is always the same. Configure the DI container, register the implementations, gather the required service using the DI container. And both libraries work well, they do their job, and I have nothing to complain about. But
I'm too old for this shit.
yeah, I'll leave you the links to the related documentation in the description, but I'm getting a little bit older and I feel the need to work with stuff I'm used to. Stuff like the service collection instance. So I kept looking around for other DI tutorials, and turns out that implementing DI using Microsoft Dependency Injection package is not so straightforward. The easiest way I found was to create your services inside the app initialize method, then store the service provider inside the main application resource dictionary that is accessible with these keyword, then use the find resource extension method within an Avalonia control to fetch the services provider and get the service you need using any of the get service extensions, like this. I'll leave you all the links to all the resources and discussions I found so far. And just when I thought, okay, I've seen enough, I found this. A DI registration package, built using source generators, from the CommunityToolkit Labs. Trim-friendly, reflection-free, AOT compatible. Wow. And then I thought, Why not? Okay, one step at a time. But how do I use this library? Attributes used to register implementations. What?
I'm too old for this shit.
Okay, I'm starting to think that I'm really too old for anything related to code at this point. But then, yes, this repo has a sample showing exactly how to use the experimental library. What a lucky day, huh? So basically you have to register all the interface and related implementations using a method attribute, which can be singleton or transient. You then call the previous method and then feed the service provider to the DI container provided by the CommunityToolkit MVVM package. Then always use the MVVM DI container to fetch the required service or view in this way. That's it. Now that I've found a definitive DI implementation for Avalonia, I can leave. My job here is done. You just witnessed the most clumsy attempt to be funny from someone who in reality has the social skills of a narcoleptic sloth. But in the end, the important thing is not to win, but to take part, right? But going back to Avalonia and Dependency Injection, this video is the result of my own personal preferences and knowledge. Different problems require different tools, and therefore it's always up to you to investigate and pick the right one. I hope this gave you an initial overview of DI containers, and I encourage you to go and learn more about the topic. As usual, for any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Also remember to check out the series GitHub repo, where you'll find a simple application using the CommunityToolkit Labs DI package. Until then, see you in the next video. Ciao!